right, so everything that we have done so far has been with right triangles. Okay? Now, SOHCAHTOA only works with a right triangle. Okay? But if you don't have a right triangle, there's a couple things called law of sines and law of cosines. Okay? Today we're going to talk about law of sines. Tomorrow we'll talk about law of cosines. All right? So, law of sines says that. All right, so sine of A over A. Okay, so sine of the angle over the opposite side.
Excuse me for starting out.
Okay, so it's going to be sine of the angle over the opposite side equals sine of another angle, so sine of B over that opposite side is equal to sine of C over its opposite side. Okay, so all we're doing is setting up proportions. Right? So if I'm looking at number one, okay, we have two angles, right? Those two angles that we have, do we have their opposite sides? Do I have the side opposite of 35? And I'm looking for the side opposite of 71, right? All right, so we're going to go sine of the angle. So sine of 35, and either one would work. Sine of 35 over what's the opposite side? 12 equals sine of 71 over what's the opposite side? X. All right, so now it's just proportion, right? Okay, so we cross multiply. So it's X times the sine of 35 equals 12 times the sine of 71. Okay, now it's a matter of solving. So with your calculators, if you don't have a calculator, I turn to your phone. You're going to want one. All right, so I'm going to do this side first. So I'm going to go with 12 times the sine of 75. So I'm always going to do the side without x. Yep. Wow, spelled with us. Thank you. Appreciate that. Before we get through the whole problem. So, well, the side without the x. So 12 times the sine of 71, and hit enter. Okay, and then to get x by itself over here, what do we have to do? Divide. So we're going to divide by, so leave that as that big long decimal. Hit divided by sine of 35. Round to the nearest tenth, and x is 19.8. Okay, so not so horrible, right? All right, so go over there. All right, so the two angles I have, are those the sides that I want? Yes. All right, so sine of 18 over what's my opposite side? 5 equals sine of 14 over x. Alright, so x times sine of 18 equals 5 times sine of 114. Yep. Okay, so do the side without x. So 5 times sine of 114 divided by what's with x? Divided think law of signs is fun because I like doing the proportions, but I'm kind of weird like that. All right, so I'm just gonna keep moving this guy side to side. All right, so how are we gonna set this guy up? All right, so for me, setting the sine of 73 over 20 equals sine of 59 over x. All right, so we cross multiply x times sine of 73 equals 20 times sine of 59. To the side without x, 20 times sine of 59. Divide by what's with x. Sine 73. X equals 17.9. All right, and number 4. The angles that are given are those the sides, they're opposite sides. Is that what I'm looking for? No, I don't know the angle opposite of x, right? But my 3 angles of a triangle add up to what? 180. Okay, so how am I going to find that opposite angle? Yeah, 180 minus 53 minus 96 gives me 31. Okay, now you have the information that you need in order to do it, correct? All right, so I want everybody to do number 4. That's the proportion you got. It's okay if it's flip-flop. If you got sine of 96 over 27 is equal to sine of 31 over x, that's the same thing. Okay, so everybody's got that? Yes? All right, so when we multiply across, 27 times the sine of 31 is x times the sine of 96. Everyone's got that? Okay? So what do you multiply first? All right, so 27 times the sine of 31. Okay, leave it as your big long decimal divided by. Everyone got it? What would we put this as? Yeah, x equals 14. Everybody got that? Thumbs up? I hope so. Alright, so, okay, what do we have to do first thing in number 5? Now we gotta subtract from 180 so that we can get our angle, which is 48. Okay, in number 6, what do I have to do? Same thing, subtract, find this angle is, what is it? 89? Everybody else got 89? Alright, so I want you to do 5 and 6. Okay, so it ended up being 23, right? Yep. So we've got x is 23. Anybody else not get that? Okay, so remember we've got what? Sine of 48 over x equals sine of 29 over 15. Sine review for number 6. X equals 29.5. Questions on that one? For the most part, I saw us do a pretty good job on those. All right, let's look at number 9. Because now they are looking for angles. Okay? So now, when I'm setting this up, I would set this up as sine of x over 9 equals sine of 77 over 14. Okay, so 9 times the sine of 77 equals 14 times the sine of x. Now, when I was looking for an angle, what did I have to hit in my calculator? Yeah, I had to do the inverse, right? So when I'm doing this in my calculator, okay, so we've got 9 times the sine of 77, and then what am I dividing by this time? 14, right? Now I didn't inverse anything right now, I just have to divide by 14, because I'm going to get sine of x by itself. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have sine of x equals, so what am I dividing by? 14. Now, when you do this, okay, you need to put, okay, right now I need you to listen. And listen, okay? This part right here needs to be in about at least 4 decimal places when you're going to plug it in, okay? Because we're going to have sine of x equals 0.6264. Okay? You are going to need to write this number down. Okay? Otherwise, it's not going to work. Because now you have to hit second sine, because we got to take the inverse. So second sine of 0.6264. And we get x equals 38.8. Okay, so let's do another one. Well, the hardest part of this part, I think, finding angles, is figuring out how we're going to enter it into our calculator. Okay, so number 10, I've got sine of x over 15 equals sine of 126 over 31. This is getting jumpy on me. Okay, so I have 31 times the sine of x equals 15 times the sine of 126. Alright, so the side without x is what's going in first, right? So 15 times the sine of 126. And then what am I dividing by? Divide by 31. Okay, and then you're going to have to write it out. Sine of x equals 0.3915. Right? Now you can plug it in. Second sine 0.3915. X is 23.0. Right? Okay, does that make sense? Or should we do one more with the x? One more? Alright. Alright, so let's do, I want everybody to do that. So I've got sine of 61 over 24 equals sine of x over 21. Does everybody have that set up? Okay? So 21 times the sine of 61 equals 24 times the sine of x. Everybody's got that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm asking because we don't all have the same answer, so we've got about 4 or 5 different answers floating around out there. So 21 times the sine of 61, right? Divided by what? 24. Now, it is important that you go at least 4 decimal places. Okay, so sine of x equals 0.7653. Did we all get those 4 decimal places? Well, okay, so now I have second sine, 0.7653. We should have 49.9. Right? So I saw some 61s out there. I saw some 50s out there. Skylar Mohammed, is everything okay? Am I doing something funny? Is my file open? Okay, then enough.